From the dawn of humankind, we have walked a path both extraordinary and perilous. Our story, a tapestry woven with threads of triumph and tragedy. We marvel at the heights of human achievement, yet etched in the annals of time are moments, dark and unforgettable, that remind us of life's fragility. These are the chapters that chronicle nature's raw power, the limits of human ambition, and the profound resilience of the human spirit. Today we embark on a somber journey, revisiting some of the most catastrophic disasters that have shaken our world. These events, seared into our collective memory, serve as stark reminders of the forces that shape our existence. Join us as we delve into the heart of these calamities, exploring not only the devastation they wrought, but also the lessons they imparted. Nestled in the shadow of Mount Vesuvius, Pompeii was a bustling Roman city, a testament to the ingenuity and artistry of its people. Its streets, vibrant with the commerce and camaraderie of daily life, were a testament to the prosperity of the Roman Empire. The year was 79 AD. Pompeii, oblivious to the sleeping giant in its midst, went about its daily rhythms. Merchants hawked their wares, children played in the streets, and artisans honed their crafts. Life, it seemed, was good. But beneath the veneer of normalcy, a slumbering menace was about to awaken. Deep within the belly of Mount Vesuvius, pressure was building, a precursor to a cataclysm that would forever alter the fate of Pompeii. And then it happened. With a deafening roar that shook the very foundations of the earth, Mount Vesuvius erupted, unleashing a torrent of molten rock, ash, and poisonous gases into the atmosphere. The sky turned a terrifying black as a deadly pyroclastic flow. A superheated avalanche of volcanic debris surged down the slopes at terrifying speed. For the people of Pompeii, there was no escape. The pyroclastic flow, moving at hundreds of miles per hour, engulfed everything in its path. Buildings crumbled, streets vanished under a sea of ash, and the air itself became thick with deadly fumes. The city, once a beacon of Roman life, was swiftly being entombed in a deadly shroud. In the aftermath, Pompeii lay buried beneath millions of tons of volcanic debris, a silent testament to nature's awesome and terrible power. Centuries passed, and the once great city faded into legend, a cautionary tale whispered through generations. Then, in 1748, Pompeii began to emerge from its ash-laden slumber, revealing a snapshot of life frozen in time. Excavations revealed streets, homes, and public buildings, remarkably preserved by the same volcanic forces that had brought about the city's demise. Even more poignant were the plaster casts of the victims, their final poses a chilling reminder of the swiftness and brutality of the disaster. At the dawn of the 20th century, the RMS Titanic stood as a monument to human ingenuity, the pinnacle of shipbuilding technology. She was the largest and most luxurious vessel ever built, a floating palace of opulence and grandeur. Her designers proclaimed her practically unsinkable, a testament to their confidence in her advanced safety features. On April 10, 1912, the Titanic embarked on her maiden voyage, sailing from Southampton, England, to New York City. On board were over 2,200 souls, a cross-section of society, from wealthy industrialists and socialites to immigrants seeking a new life in America. As the Titanic steamed westward, her passengers reveled in the luxurious accommodations and the promise of a new world. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. As the Titanic steamed into the icy waters of the North Atlantic, a sense of unease began to creep aboard. Reports of icebergs in the shipping lanes reached the bridge, but the ship maintained her course and speed. a testament to the prevailing belief in her invulnerability. At 11:40 p.m. on April 14th, tragedy struck. The seemingly unsinkable Titanic grazed an iceberg on her starboard side, the impact sending shockwaves through the ship. The collision, though seemingly minor at first, had ripped open several compartments below the waterline, and seawater began to pour in. The unsinkable Titanic was taking on water, and her fate hung precariously in the balance. In the late summer of 1666, the city of London was a bustling metropolis, a teeming hive of commerce and trade. The streets were alive with the sounds of merchants calling out their wares, the clatter of horse-drawn carriages, and the chatter of people from all walks of life. It was a city that never seemed to sleep, always on the move, always growing. Narrow winding streets, lined with timber-framed houses, formed a labyrinthine heart to this burgeoning city. These wooden structures, though charming, were packed tightly together, creating a dense network of homes and businesses. Little did Londoners know, however, that a fiery inferno was about to be unleashed upon their world. The very materials that made their homes and shops so picturesque would soon become their greatest enemy. The summer had been unusually dry, baking the city's wooden structures under a relentless sun. Day after day, the heat persisted, turning the timber into a tinderbox waiting for a spark. The conditions were perfect for a disaster, and all it needed was a single small ignition. And in the dead of night, on September 2nd, that spark arrived in the most unassuming of places. The city slept, unaware of the impending catastrophe. A fire broke out in Thomas Farriner's bakery on Pudding Lane. What started as a small flame quickly grew out of control. Flames quickly took hold, fueled by the dry timber and fanned by a strong easterly wind. The fire leaped from building to building, spreading with terrifying speed. What began as a localized incident quickly grew into an unstoppable inferno that would forever alter the face of London. The Great Fire of London had begun, and the city would never be the same again. The fire spread with astonishing speed, leaping from building to building, fueled by the dry timber and thatch that made up most of the city's structures. Consuming all in its path, the narrow streets acted like chimneys, funneling the flames ever higher and creating a terrifying spectacle. The night sky was lit up for miles around, a glowing orange beacon of destruction. Panic gripped the city as residents fled their homes, desperate to escape the inferno. Families were separated in the chaos, clutching what few possessions they could carry as they ran for their lives. The River Thames, usually a lifeline for the city, became a terrifying escape route, choked with burning debris and the desperate cries of those seeking refuge. For 3 long days and nights the fire raged, unstoppable and merciless. The city's rudimentary firefighting efforts proved woefully inadequate against the sheer scale of the blaze. Firefighters, armed with little more than buckets of water and primitive pumps, struggled valiantly but were quickly overwhelmed. Church bells, once a familiar sound of daily life, now tolled mournfully, marking the relentless advance of the fire. The inferno showed no mercy, consuming everything in its path. The city's residents could do little but watch in horror as their homes and livelihoods were reduced to ashes. The mournful tolling of the church bells echoed through the streets, a somber reminder of the unstoppable force that was consuming their city. By the time the flames were finally extinguished, the destruction was unimaginable. Over 13,000 homes, 87 churches, and countless businesses lay in ruins. The Great Fire of London had left an indelible scar on the city's landscape and psyche. Yet, amidst the ashes, the indomitable spirit of Londoners shone through. With remarkable resilience, they began the daunting task of rebuilding their lives and their city. From the ashes of this tragedy, a new London would emerge, stronger and more resilient. The Great Fire, though a catastrophe of immense proportions, also served as a catalyst for change. New building codes, wider streets, and a dedicated fire brigade were just some of the innovations that arose from the ashes, forever altering the fabric of this great city. The Indian Ocean, a vast expanse of azure waters teeming with life, holds a hidden power deep within its depths. On December 26, 2004, this immense power was unleashed with terrifying force, forever etching this date into the annals of history as a day of unimaginable tragedy. Unbeknownst to the millions who called the Indian Ocean rim home, a colossal tectonic shift was taking place beneath the waves. A 9.1 magnitude earthquake, one of the most powerful ever recorded, ripped through the ocean floor off the coast of Sumatra. The energy released by this seismic event was staggering, equivalent to the detonation of millions of atomic bombs. This energy, however, was not confined to the ocean depths. It propelled a series of monstrous waves known as a tsunami outwards from the epicenter with terrifying speed. Traveling at speeds of up to 500 miles per hour, the tsunami raced across the Indian Ocean, its vastness masking the deadly power that lurked beneath the surface. Coastal communities, blissfully unaware of the impending disaster, went about their daily routines, enjoying the peace and tranquility of a bright Sunday morning. Then, without warning, the sea receded, exposing vast stretches of seabed, a chilling harbinger of the devastation that was to follow. Moments later, the first of the tsunami waves, a towering wall of water, crashed ashore. The impact was catastrophic. Entire villages were flattened, buildings reduced to rubble, and landscapes reshaped in an instant. The sheer force of the water swept away everything in its path, leaving behind a trail of unimaginable destruction. The tsunami's reach was vast, extending far beyond the immediate epicenter. From the shores of Indonesia to the coast of Africa, 14 countries felt the devastating impact of the waves. Tourist havens and fishing villages alike were swallowed by the unrelenting surge. The human cost of the disaster was staggering. Over 230,000 lives were lost, making the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history. The world watched in horror as the true scale of the tragedy unfolded. Yet from the depths of despair, stories of hope and resilience emerged. The global community, united in grief, responded with an outpouring of aid and support. The long and arduous task of rebuilding had begun. The events of Pompeii, the Titanic, the Great Fire of London, and the Indian Ocean tsunami stand as stark reminders of the awesome power of the natural world and the fragility of human existence. These catastrophic events, though separated by centuries and continents, share a common thread. They reveal the unpredictable and often devastating force of nature and how it can alter the course of human history in an instant. These tragedies, though separated by time and circumstance, offer profound lessons for us all. They serve as poignant reminders that despite our advancements in technology and society, we remain vulnerable to the whims of nature. Each disaster, in its own way, has left an indelible mark on the collective memory of humanity. They teach us humility in the face of nature's might, reminding us that we are but temporary custodians of this planet. The sheer scale of these events forces us to confront our own limitations and the transient nature of our existence. It is a humbling experience that brings us closer to understanding our place in the world. They underscore the importance of preparedness, of understanding the risks we face and taking steps to mitigate them. By learning from past disasters, we can develop better strategies to protect ourselves and our communities. This includes everything from emergency drills to the installation of safety equipment and the tireless efforts of rescue teams who risk their lives to save others. And perhaps most importantly, they highlight the strength of the human spirit, our capacity for compassion, resilience, and unwavering hope, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. The stories of survivors helping each other, communities coming together to rebuild, and the emotional reunions that follow all serve as powerful testaments to our ability to overcome. Disasters are an inescapable part of our history. They have shaped the world we live in today, influencing everything from architecture to emergency response protocols. Each event adds a chapter to the ongoing story of human resilience and adaptation. They bring devastation, but they also ignite the human spirit to endure, rebuild, and adapt. In the aftermath of disaster, we see the best of humanity, people coming together to support one another, innovative rebuilding projects that aim to create safer environments, and the simple yet profound act of planting trees in areas that have been devastated. These tragedies teach us lessons about humility in the face of nature, the importance of preparation, and the strength we find in each other. By sharing our stories and learning from these experiences, we can build stronger, more resilient communities. From the ashes of destruction, humanity rises stronger. Like the mythical phoenix, we have the ability to rise from the ruins, renewed and ready to face the future with hope and determination. Let's learn from the past to build a safer tomorrow. By educating the next generation, designing safer buildings, and planning for the future, we can create a world that is better prepared for whatever challenges lie ahead.